We got sexual innuendos out of the way. Yeah, this is not a child-friendly stream, people. I have already sworn quite a few times on the previous one. It wasn't intentional, but it is just my nature to swear. I swear like a goon. I bloody well do. You know, I haven't actually produced an anime yet. I'm going to produce an anime this time. Something new. Something different. At some point, I should probably... In fact, if I wasn't doing the stream, I would probably be on the forums for this game, looking at build strategies and microing tactics. And for those who aren't familiar with these kind of terms, basically it's playing the game to an extremely high standard. What happens with a lot of MMOs is you get min-maxing, so people want to be as good as they possibly can at the game. And you will find that this model of progression that this game is using is going to get people really interested. Combine that with strategy games. If you think the two main games that people like are MMOs, so MMOs are hugely popular, loads of people playing them, and on the tournament scene you've got RTSs like StarCraft 2, League of Legends, okay, it's not really RTS, but it is a strategy game, with build orders and such like. Activision Commander Forces Alliance, and then those are the main sort of big tournament games other than the fast-paced shooters. So you've got that all wrapped up in this game. Everything but a shooter is wrapped up in this game that people want. It's a really good formula, and I can see why Microsoft is investing so heavily in this, because there is a hell of a lot of potential for it. Somebody at Microsoft will be getting a big paycheck if this pulls off. And it's quite a risky venture because I don't think Microsoft has used the free model before, but if recent attempts at the free model have been anything to go by, it's worth it. Sony Online Entertainment released Dungeon Overlord on Facebook, of all things. It's a flash game. It's really good, it's really in-depth. Unfortunately, the progression on the game is horrendously slow. So even if you're quite devoted to the game, you will get sick of it far too early, which is a shame. But the game is really solid. And oh, you cheeky bugger! Look at that archery range! It's just appeared in the middle of my face. Oh bugger! Oh, this is how they're creating so many guys. They're basically taking over the entire map around me. I do hope we're doing the right thing here. What they seem to be winning on fight, certainly. That does not something, hasn't it? Yes it does. Yes, I am excellent. I am superb. Ooh, I think that's the guy I need to kill. It is. It's Captain Clitoris. Cheating Cletus. Cletus? Is that Cletus as in dodgy Texan name? The bandage leader's quest complete. Wonderful. That'll get me plenty of XP. I might get up to level 9 by the end of the day. You can pull that with what I'll be getting from this quest. No, you are archers. Do not. It's kind of hard to stop yourself with flanks when the enemies are on all sides, and I have people stood around doing nothing. And as a StarCraft 2 player, even a Bronze League player, that makes me a very sad bunny. It really does. I hate seeing nothing happening. Now, you'll notice that these guys are basically fighting without me. I do not have to micromanage them if I have an advantage, which is nice. On some games you have to micromanage even when you have a huge advantage, because somebody can counter you using cheap abilities or whatever. Since these are all constant damage over time type units, the gameplay that you get is much more strategy based. There's earnest long-term strategy in this as opposed to, oh look, you can use your drops better, therefore you win. Oh look, your 4-game wasn't spotted, therefore you win. Not that I have any spite towards StarCraft 2 for these things, and you get stuck in bronze and everything. No, I'm not bitching at all. I am above that, folks. Absolutely. And now I'm going to get comments about, will you play Age of Empires because you are useless? You fail at other games. No, I really don't. I'm a tournament player and various other things. I have quite a few ladder rank 1s and championships and tournaments on it. I am actually going to a tournament this weekend, in fact. would be playing Forged Alliance, but Forged Alliance has decided it isn't going to work, so I'm going to throw myself into the Counter-Strike Source tournament and get myself destroyed, because I've never quite figured out how to deal with flashbangs on that game. If any of you knows a good strategy for dealing with flashbangs, go to youtube.com/RucioTaka and let me know, because I can't deal with flashbangs on Counter-Strike. My shooting ability is great because I used to play the old Counter-Strike and I'm generally very good at shooters. I've been playing shooters for 14 years now, so I should be good at shooters. But I've never quite gotten the hang of dealing with grenades and choke points necessarily in Counter-Strike, so I've never gotten up to a really professional standard at that game. Well, this has been a very successful venture. In fact, compared to the previous mission that I failed at last time, this has actually been a very easy mission. I'm quite impressed by this, in the sense that it seems to be balanced enough so that I'm not going to get frustrated and just suddenly get stuck at one point, which makes sense. I mean, if it's a free game, they're going to be hoping to include as many people as possible, so the game's not going to be terribly difficult at this point. I hope once it gets to age 3 and more strategies come into play, that the game will expand a lot more and become more difficult and give you more options. I think at this point, I could have played this one of quite a few ways and still successfully won. I mean, I've got these guard towers that are basically doing nothing. They're just sat there taking 3 pot shots, and I'm not having to build efficiently. Let me look at how much food I've got, for example. There we go, time remaining. I have won. This is a victory. This one's a trial. I'm leaving my feet to success. La 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 la. Only gathered 10 with please. I actually have no reason not to try and attack that. If I lose my village centre now, I will still have completed the quest, so I might as well do a full-on attack against his base and just get that last chest. I will lose nothing by doing so. Which is good, because it also means you don't get completely stressed about getting the chest during the game. Again, I like the lethargic pace of this game. I like the fact that it's not a gigantic time trial. I like the fact that it is a nice countermeasure to the games I've been playing recently, League of Legends and StarCraft 2, which just takes stress to a whole new level. And this is really relaxed. I can do the stream and play badly and not pay attention to what I'm doing, and the game doesn't utterly punish me for it. Just to a certain extent. I mean, I failed miserably at that original tower defense style mission, but now, not so much. It's now that I've got a basic grasp of the mechanics and what I'm doing, it's going alright. Head back to our city. So I'll show you the advisor hall. I did promise that I would show you that, and it happened when my screen was being faulty. No, that's the crafting hall. That's the advisor hall, which looks very nice, doesn't it? It's got a kind of pantheonic look of the ocean. It's very atypical, very typical Greek architecture. So you get these kind of when I first saw this interface, I described the advisors as trading cards, and then I saw these, and I thought, oh yeah, they've gone with the trading card. Look, I actually own the Age of Empires 2 trading card game of all things. It's quite good, it's really in-depth. I think I've got about 300 cards on it, and it plays quite well. Anyway, with that we can include. So these advisors, you get one for each age, and once you get into that age, bonuses kick in, at least I presume that's how it works, and they offer bonuses, sort of broad bonuses that allow you to focus on specific strategies. So I've got infantry production, so in the early game my villages are training faster, which allows me to get to quicker, and then my infantry units will train faster once I'm in the second age. In the second age, I can produce a lot of infantry, hopefully faster than my opponents. See how many empire points I have. 28 empire points. I can spend those in this shop, so I could acquire this person who gives me slaughterhouse upgrades, but I'd have to replace my other tier 1, and I chose that tier 1 for a specific reason, because I quite like his ability. I keep forgetting about this. I have these consumable bandit archers that I don't use very much. I use them 3 times. They're very easy to replace because I have this, so I can actually craft them, and they cost almost nothing. So I can make these at will and then sell them to other players, or use them for myself, so I don't have to worry about running out of them. So if I have 200 gold spare, it might be well to spend on those. Let's see. Complete that quest. Ooh, I need a reward. Oh no, this is such a hard decision. I think I'm going to have to go with the Greaves, just because they have the broadest bonus, and I haven't quite decided where I'm going, and it won't be cavalry, so I'm not going to get that. I'll get that. Yeah. And there's these as well, which gives me 2 elite rewards. Do I have space for those? I do have space for those. Wonderful. Look at all the presents, and I'm level. Let's open up all these chests and see what goodies we need. Ooh, I have garnets. Don't know what garnets are used for. Oh, wonderful. Look at those. Usable by Egyptian Priestess of Ra. Useful since I'm playing the Greek player, but I suppose I could sell those to Egyptian players if I happen to have the religion school. Since I don't have the religion school, those are kind of pointless, so I might as well just sell them at the store. Got some new javelins, since I don't have Hellfire and... Oh, actually no, those javelins can be used like